Guys, we're doing live readings. $25 for a reading. I'm only taking Cash App as payment. You guys. So these are short mini readings. The rules are in the chat. After you send your payment, please please DM me your question, okay? For the TikTok folks. And for the YouTube folks, if you guys are tuning in, I am doing live readings. $25 for one question each. Okay. So keep in mind that these are just short mini readings. If you guys are looking for like an in-depth personal reading, check out the link tree in my bio and also in the description box below for YouTube, you guys. Hold on one sec. Let me just open myself up over here. So I am live again doing one question readings for $25, you guys. No questions about health, no questions about legal stuff, okay? Um, so welcome in everyone. If you guys are interested in a one question reading, I'm taking Cash App as a form of payment only. And something. I don't know. So if you guys are interested in the reading, send your payment to Cash App. So I'm simultaneously doing a live on TikTok and also YouTube. It's just easier to keep track of the payment, so that's why I'm only taking Cash App as payment. So $25 for one question, okay? Heart to soul, welcome. Hope you guys are having a good Friday. Welcome, you guys. Anybody interested? So for the YouTube folks, the readings that I do for you guys, I will timestamp them in the comments section, okay? After I get off the live. So I'm gonna make a list. So anybody looking for a reading, make sure you guys follow the rules, especially the TikTok folks, because some of you guys have a hard time following the rules. So drop a like, a TikTok folks. Drop a like, follow. Like I said, I'm taking one question readings for $25 on Cash App. I did post the Cash App handle in the comments or in the chats. You could, if you could post a question in the payment, that'll be great. If you can't, after you send the payment, just post a question here, okay? Heart and soul. Make sure no questions about health, nothing about legal stuff, okay? Thanks for the follow, Demerit. Demerit. That sounds familiar. That's something like my teachers would do in high school. Like you would get a demerit or something like that if you were like to class. Uh, Hi, I am NP. So you guys, so I'm doing things a little bit differently since I'm simultaneously going live on TikTok and YouTube. So basically, I am doing one question readings for $25, and Cash App as a form of payment only. I did put the Cash App handle in the comments. Okay. So who is Lexus Salgado? Let me see. Lexus wants to know. So Lexus. So I'm gonna put Lexus. And then Lexus is timestamp number 4. Let's do 5 minutes. So what messages do we have here for Lexus regarding Johnny here? What are Johnny's current feelings towards Lexus? What are Johnny's current feelings towards Lexus? 8 of Pentacles. He's focusing on practical matters, Lexus. Yeah. He's focusing on practical matters. I feel like he's focusing on working on himself right now. Okay. He's just kind of doing him. We have the Hierophant here, Taurus energy, with the Wheel of Fortune and the Eight of Wands here. I do feel like he's trying to move forward in his life. I do feel like he's really curious about you since things have ended between you and him. But I don't really see, mature conversation coming in with him. I do feel like he's trying to come in. I have to shoot it at this camera. So the Eight of Pentacles and the Hierophant here, the Eight of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune, and also the Page of Swords and the Death card. There may be some sort of light communication at some point. There may be some sort of curiosity here, but I mean, if you're looking for something fabulous with him and stuff like that, something amazing, I don't think he's going to come in with that type of energy. Yeah, I feel like you're waiting for him to come back, but I also feel like you know that this is not good for you because he's really toxic and he is inconsistent here. Okay, so that does it for Lexus. All right, who's next? Anybody else? Yeah, I'm doing readings. I'm taking like payment, cash app payments, $25 for one question. Okay. You're welcome, Lexus. So Lexus, if you're looking for in-depth personal reading, check out the link. You may book it again if you want. You can book a personal reading with me off my website. Okay, if you want to go in your situation. Anybody else? That's really terrific. No yes or no questions. I'm doing one question readings for $25. I'm only taking cash app. I mean, if you want a yes or no question, I usually take like the gold medal chain. Yeah, if you want like a yes or no, something quick. I usually charge like $200 for a reading, Nikki. So that's a huge steal. So, okay. All right. Yeah, my usual rates for personal readings are like 200 for an hour. Yeah. Anybody else looking for a one question reading? Send your payment. I'm still taking questions. Unknown, I am taking one question readings for $25. I'm only taking Cash App as payment, okay? I wonder if the alerts are going out for my YouTube. I don't think they are. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, $25, 25 US dollars. And I'm only taking Cash App as payment. So if you are interested, the Cash App handle, I did put it in the chat. And if you do send your payment, please DM me your question after. Mm, mm, mm. I thought this would be a good hour where I'm catching people on their lunch. I don't know. Sandra Reed. So who's Sandra Reed? See if there's Sandra. Okay, Sandra wants to know why things go bad with D. Okay. Can I call you by your first name? Hold on one sec. Okay. So I'm gonna put Sandra. You want to know why things went bad with D. What messages do we have for Sandra? Why did things go bad between D and Sandra? Why did things go bad between D and Sandra? Why did things go bad between D and Sandra? With the sun card in the reverse, I feel like he was just not really happy in his life. Yeah. Obviously, if you're not happy in your life, it'll be quite challenging to be able to co-create that with someone, right? So let's see. Yeah, I just feel like with the King of Cups, I just feel like he was emotionally unavailable. I feel like with the King of Cups in the reverse, he may have been, emotionally manipulative too. He may not have felt those same emotions as you did towards him. Okay. So we have the Sun card in the reverse and the King of Cups in the reverse. With the Four of Swords, yeah, he seems pretty detached, pretty disconnected here. This is interesting here because I feel like he does have feelings. He did have feelings, or he does have feelings here. Okay. I feel like he does think about you. I do feel like, yeah, Six of Cups, he misses you. I feel like he felt like he could have had something here with you. But right now, with the Four of Swords and the Ace of Cups, I feel like he's just detaching here. Detaching, disengaging here. With the Ten of Cups and the Six of Cups, missing you, missing this relationship. I just feel like he gets emotionally pulled away because he feels like I just feel like he's just not in a happy place. Yeah. I feel like with the Knight of Cups here, eventually I feel like he will circle back around to you. You see that? Yeah. The Knight of Cups here and the Two of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. You're gonna wonder what's changed though. Yeah, you're gonna wonder if he's healed, if he's done the work. But yeah, I felt that is the reason why things fell apart. He was just emotionally just not feeling like he's in a good place. Sandra. Okay. So Sandra, I hope that was helpful. So TikTok folks, if you guys are tuning in, I am doing live readings. I'm taking Cash App as payment. If you guys are looking for a reading, one question per payment. The Cash App handle is in the chat. Okay. So anyone interested, I'm still taking questions. Oh, thank you so much for the follow, Mummy G1710. Thanks for the follow. For those of you guys that are looking for a question, I'm only taking Cash App as a form of payment, okay? Yeah, so Sandra, if you're looking for an in-depth personal reading, I do offer those on Zoom, okay? So if you want to go in-depth in your situation, feel free to book a personal reading with me when you would like to, all right? Mummy G, I am only taking Cash App as payment if you guys are looking for a reading, okay? I mean, maybe I could. I don't know. I could take gifts, but the usual gifts that I take for readings on Cash App. Let me just post up the rules then. Hold on one second. I'll post up the rules for that. Don't have that. I'm in Scotland. Okay. So why don't I? So maybe you guys could send the gifts then, huh? Hold on one sec. So I will take a baby dragon for a read, basically. Okay. Because I want to keep it consistent with the payment amount. Because I'm also doing this on YouTube also. Hold on one sec. Where is it? Meteor. Meteor. So TikTok folks, if you guys are looking for a reading, I'm only accepting a baby dragon, okay? For a reading. So that equates to like $25 in TikTok currency. Hi, Minef. Anybody else looking for a reading? I'm still taking questions. TikTok folks, I'm also taking questions. I'm only taking a baby dragon for a reading, okay? Wiley. A baby dragon, I don't know, it's like 2,500 coins. I don't know. I think, yeah. I think the baby dragon is 2,500 coins. I think. Hold on one sec. I don't know. Oh, 2,000 coins. It's 2,000 coins. If it's not a baby dragon, something that equates to 2,000. Yeah. And after you send the dragon, baby dragon, please DM me your question, okay? Just DM me your question, TikTok folks. So you guys, I'm live streaming on YouTube and TikTok at the same time. I'm doing one question readings for $25. I am taking Cash App, ideally, but for the TikTok folks, I will also take a baby dragon too. Okay. For TikTok folks, I'm only taking a baby dragon for a reading. Like I said, just to keep it consistent with the prices on both platforms. Okay. I just want to be fair. Make sure you guys like, make sure you guys follow. So baby dragon for TikTok folks for a reading. Okay. And for the TikTok folks, if you are able to send Cash App, send the Cash App. Okay. So I thought this might be a good hour to do it, but it's just not here. Moon Shanice, if you guys are looking for a reading, I'm taking Cash App payments for $25. If you don't have Cash App, you could send me a baby dragon. Okay. And after you send your payment or the baby dragon, DM me your question. Jaybird, I'm not doing yes or no questions. I'm only taking mini reading questions. Yeah. So I'm taking a baby dragon or Cash App for payment, $25 for one question. Um, Yeah, it's just to keep it consistent on both platforms because I'm also doing a live on YouTube also. It's just to keep the prices consistent, okay? Yeah, so TB, the baby dragon is 2,000 coins. So if you could send me two galaxies, that'll be great. Okay? Because I think the galaxies are 1,000 coins. Oh, you got it. Okay, terrific, TB. So you send that baby dragon, you get a mini reading. Actually, a lot of people have a hard time finding a baby dragon. Yeah. You're welcome, Jaybird. I hope you're doing well. Nice to see you again. Nice to see you again. All right. I'm just gonna burn some. Yeah. Feel free to connect with me, DM me, whatever. Yeah. We could be friends. Thanks for the likes, you guys. I really appreciate it a lot. YouTube folks, if you guys are looking for a reading, I'm still taking questions. I thought this was a good time to do it. I thought this was like I'm catching everyone on their lunch break right now. I'm not based in California, no. I'm based in New York City. Yeah. But I travel a lot. I'm gonna start traveling again like in May. So maybe I'll stop by in California. What part of California are you in? Oh shit. The sun's starting to come out here. It's been cloudy the last 2 days. You're in LA. Oh, sweet. Okay. It's been, when was the last time I was in LA? 2018. That was the last time. I don't mind coming out there again at some point. I would love to come out there again. I do have some friends that live out there. So, what part of LA? Where did I stay last time? When I came out to LA, I stayed in I stayed in West Hollywood. Yeah, I stayed in West Hollywood. TB, thank you so much for the baby dragon. If you could DM me your question, that'd be great. And like I said, these are short mini readings. So if you guys are looking for an in-depth personal reading, make sure if you want, book one of those with me off my website. Okay. I'm just gonna timestamp this too. For I'm just gonna do TB. Hold on one sec. Let me see if the. Oh, cool. Maybe I'll stay there again. It's that part of LA is like more convenient than the other parts. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because a lot of the things that like in Beverly Hills and WeHo, like it's kind of walking distance. I mean, I walk everywhere, so I'm like from New York City, so yeah, it's kind of like a walkable area, you know. So yeah, it'll be nice to kind of go out there again. Okay, where is TB's question? There we go. So TB, so I'm just gonna timestamp this anyway. Yeah, this is gonna end up. Yeah, I could let you know. I could let you know. It'll be nice to meet a new friend too, for sure. Okay, so we have TB here. TB is, I don't know, what's the timestamp for TB? 25, 28. So TB wants to know, does Valentine really want to be with me? Okay, does Valentine really want to be with TB? The sun card in the reverse, that's a no. Let's see why. We want the Hierophant here. You know what the Sun card in the reverse and the Hierophant kind of speaks to me as? Like, he basically has commitment issues. Yeah, he has some major commitment issues. Okay? He just can't commit. Even if he's telling you that he could commit, it's just a front, it's just a show. Yeah. So let's see. So let's see. We have the Page of Swords. Why? Okay. So we have the Ace of Pentacles here. So, one of the things I'm getting here is I feel like he talks a big game here. He talks a lot. Yeah, all he does is talk, 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 but then he doesn't really back it up with his actions. All he does is talk. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to this and this and this and that. But then he never does anything. Another thing that really, I feel like another thing with the Page of Swords, I feel like he complains a lot too, but then he never does anything to change his situation. All he does is complain. Yeah. So let's see. Nine of Swords. To be quite honest, you're better off without him because I feel like being with him just stresses you out. Yeah, there's just a lack of peace with him. Whatever he tells you, whatever he offers you, it kind of like you're always kind of worried, whether this is going to happen or not. Yeah. So, I don't know. I feel like TB, I feel like you're that gal that's like all or nothing, right? Like there's no in between. I feel like he wants to be your friend, but you're kind of like, no, it's either I'm in the relationship with you or that there's nothing. It's all or nothing, right? Yeah, I don't even think like he's even healthy to be around. You have the devil card on the bottom of the deck here. So this is telling me that this is a very unhealthy dynamic. With the devil card, the nine of swords here, yeah, there could be a situation that somebody is dealing with something with mental health here. Either it could be you because of his actions, because of his behavior, because of his patterns. It affects your mental health, right? And also he could be dealing with a mental health situation here. Okay, so I think that I think he does want you around. He does want the connection. He does want the companionship, but to sustain it from his side, from his end, I feel like he just doesn't know how to do it. Yeah, he doesn't know how to do it. Okay. So that does it for TB. TB, thank you so much for the baby dragon. I really appreciate it. So I'm gonna update this really quickly. So what's gonna happen is that if you guys could pay Cash App to me, TikTok folks, that's great. If you can't, it's a baby dragon, okay? Hold on one sec. Um, all right. Okay. There we go. Here we go. I think, yeah. For those of you guys that could send Cash App, great. If not, send the baby dragon for TikTok folks. YouTube folks, I'm still doing live readings if you guys are interested. This is a slow hour. Like I when I come on here. V, if you're looking for a reading, please follow the rules. Yeah, please follow the rules, guys. Yeah, thank you for the roses, but the roses are not what I'm looking for. It's sweet though. It's not what I'm looking for. It's the baby dragon. I think I'm gonna use this one. This is a nice deck. I'm gonna switch because I've been using that for the last few days. Thank you so much for the roses, V. Okay, I really appreciate it. But that's not what I'm looking for. TikTok folks, Cash App, no Cash App, send the baby dragon for a reading. Thanks for pinning the rules, Pri. I really appreciate it. Where is everybody? My live was like popping before. Hey, Ellie. Ellie or Eli? Thanks for the like, you guys. It's 25 free. You have my Cash App, right? I'll pull extra cards for you. You're my friends. Yeah, I'll pull extra cards for you. Okay? Ellie. Like in Hebrew, Ellie? Nahon? Your sister needs a reading. I'm paying for her. Okay. Is she on the live right now? Oh, Easter is a Sunday, no? Because we have Pesach just like on Wednesday, Passover. Pronounce as sky. Oh, oh gosh. Hi, JB. Anybody looking for a reading? I'm still taking readings. It's kind of getting warm. Okay, free. Free, what is your question? Is your question in the payment? I'm just waiting for the email to come through. Oh, my sister JB. Okay, so JB, can you DM me your question? Yeah, direct message me your question. Oh, there we go. Okay, so JB wants to know. So I'm just gonna put JB here. JB. JB is at 3420. So JB wants to know, I want to know what I can do to get out of my financial rut and be okay. Okay, what does JB need to know to get out of her financial rut so that she could be okay? What messages do we have for JB? Tell JB here. What messages do we have for JB? What does JB need to do to get out of her financial rut? I feel like your relationship with money, you have to treat it as something, not as like emotional comfort. Like you have to be really, really practical with it, if that makes sense. Okay? You have the Queen of Cups here. Yeah, you have the Five of Pentacles. That's the card for financial scarcity. Okay? It's your relationship with money and how you treat it. Yeah. You treat it as something that's emotional, not practical, if that makes sense. It's kind of like one of those things where, um, for example, when you spend money, okay, you don't think about how the way that you spend can affect you because the way that you're perceiving money is like, okay, I'm just gonna spend and spend and spend and spend and spend and spend. Somehow it's just gonna come back to you, right? It usually does, but you can't spend more than what you don't have, if that makes sense. Okay. You have the Nine of Swords. It came out in the reverse. I feel like with the Nine of Swords in the reverse, I feel like the way that you spend money or that the way that you operate with money, it's almost like you feel like it's to impress others here. Interesting with the Nine of Swords here because you have this person like kind of like their hand to their face crying here, and these people are judging you. Yeah, judging you for not having what you are supposed to have, the nice bags, the nice clothing, the nice jewelry and stuff like that. But at the same time, I feel like you're stretching yourself thin. I just feel like it's a sense of scared of being judged, scared of not meeting up to other people's standards, if that makes sense. Or like, it could be that your friends are like, they have all these nice things, but it's kind of like, why can't I have it? So I'm going to get it myself too, even if I don't have the money, right? So let's see. Well, we have the Ten of Swords here. The Ten of Swords came out in the reverse. You could change your patterns here. That's the thing. I don't know if this is something that I don't know if this is something that you've always kind of like this is the way that you operated with money. Yeah, the problem is some people are like that. And is there something wrong with it? Not really. It really depends on how you recognize what your problems are, right? Um, it's almost like I feel like there's a sense of not really seeing a problem with it either. I don't know, it's kinda like a thing with, illusions and kinda like, sandcastles in the sky sort of thing, kinda like living in La La Land. Um, let's see, the Sun card in the reverse. It's your state of being too, it's your consciousness too. I don't know if you're someone who I don't know if I don't know if it's kinda like a situation where, like, you're so stressed or that you're so anxious to the point that you're just not happy. Yeah, you're just not happy. I feel like things are just really hard. Things are really tough here. But obviously, I feel like this is about like when you go through something like that, when you go through something really hard and really difficult, it's about observation, but not letting it sort of like overtake you to the point where you're draining your energy to the point where you're actually draining yourself. I feel like one of the things that's really important is that in life, when you are doing something, right, you have to do something that you really truly love, right? And make money off that. Obviously, some people find great pleasure and great success in working like a regular job, a regular 9 to 5 job. But to be quite honest, in my own personal experience, and I feel like for um, many different people, I feel like different people are just not really meant to work for anybody. You're meant to work for yourself. You are meant to meet your own standards and your own dreams and fulfill your own dreams, not to fulfill for others. Um, I feel like the thing is like I don't really see this really changing and shifting unless that consciousness shifts. Like, yes, life sucks. Yes, life is hard, but you can't stay there all the time. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I'm an Aries, so I'm very direct, I'm very straightforward. It's kinda like a bit of a negative Nancy energy, okay? And not that I'm saying that this is who you are, it's just that the state that you're in is causing this negativity to keep you in that negative energy. And when you're in that negative energy, that is what you will attract, right? Scarcity, lack, if that makes sense. You're a Pisces, so I do live in fantasy land a lot. Yeah. It's really important for you to ground yourself because that Pisces energy could be like, kind of ooh, like that, right? So it's really important for you to ground yourself. Um, I suggest meditation. Yeah, meditation is very grounding. Going on long walks, exercising, hugging a tree, just really taking care of yourself spiritually. I call it spiritual hygiene. Okay, the Ace of Swords here. It's almost like I feel like there's an energy of like, where the hell am I going? What am I doing? Where am I going? What am I meant to do? Like, why do I keep falling down over and over and over again, but I have a hard time getting up? The challenge with the Pisces energy is that sometimes when the Pisces is in that negative space, like that negative mindset, a lot of times what happens to that Pisces, they just sulk in it and stay in it. Yeah, they sulk in it and stay in it. Okay. And not that you're gonna stay there forever. You can pull yourself out of it, but you have to shift that consciousness. You have to shift that awareness to abundance because you're sitting that consciousness of lack. Yeah, you're sitting that consciousness of lack. So I feel like the more that you sit in that consciousness of lack, that is what will come into your life, is that lack. I feel like you have no idea where you're going at all. It's just kind of like confusion, lost. If I were to go in your head, I feel like your head is just unicorns, rainbows, and butterflies like shooting out of your butt. Like, I feel like that is where you're at. Okay. But it doesn't really produce anything. Yeah. Because when you're living that fantasy land, it's kind of like also the ego taking over. It's a form of escape, right? Um, It doesn't really produce anything. Yeah, it's not walking in your truth. So it's kinda like, what is your truth? You know? What is that truth that you lean on, that you believe in, that's right for you, right? I think that lack consciousness has a lot to do with your childhood. Yeah. I don't know if you felt like you didn't get enough attention as a kid. Yeah. I don't know if you felt like, you felt like something was taken from you or something like that, or that something happened to you that was unfair. Until you heal that, not to say that you can't, make a lot of money with your traumas and your pain, your hurt. A lot of people do. They overfunction that way. You can. But until you heal that, I do feel like this pattern will repeat itself again. I'm not really seeing a whole lot of improvements here. I do feel like a lot of bad things that have happened to you in the past, I feel like it really stuck with you. Like, I feel like you haven't really completely released it. And what you hold on to, it blocks you from the things and the wish fulfillments that are meant to come into your life. So it's really important for you to process those emotions, process that pain, process that hurt, so that you can actually release that energy to bring in new energy into your life, right? So, I do feel like there's a lot of sadness here. There's a lot of pain. There's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of fear. And like I said, when you stay in that, that's exactly what you will attract. You have to shift that. Yeah. And like I said, I feel like a lot of the Pisces that I do know in my life, that's how they operate. When they stay in that negative place, they just stay in it. But once they're in a really good place, they also stay in that too. Yeah. So it kind of like, Pisces is a very emotional, sensitive energy. It kind of like it's a wave of emotions. It's really up and down, So it's kind of like, I feel like you have to find your way in processing and managing your own emotions in a healthy way because I do feel like it is affecting, other areas of your life. Yeah. So JB, I do hope that was helpful. I do hope that this was helpful for you. So we have we have Eli. I'm just gonna say Eli or Ellie. I don't know. So Ellie wants to know what's coming towards him for April. You're welcome, Pre, and you're welcome, JB. It was lovely to meet you. All right. Okay. So, what's coming towards me in April? What do we have here for Ellie? Book of Eli? All right, Eli. I don't know. Tell about Eli here. What's coming in for Eli in April? What's coming in for Eli in April? The Cash App handles in the title, Queen of Wands, and the Three of Wands in the reverse. I feel like in April, I feel like someone here, I mean, this could be somebody else because the Queen of Wands came out. So the Queen of Wands is obviously a feminine energy. Sometimes a masculine can take on that feminine role, right? It's almost like I feel like there's a sense of no longer wanting to wait anymore or just not waiting around anymore. There's a sense of taking action. There's a sense of going for what you want here and moving towards what you're passionate about here. Okay, with the Queen of Wands here and the Three of Wands in the reverse. And then with the King of Wands, we have the Eight of Swords and the Seven of Wands. Okay. With the King to Queen of Wands. Look at that. This is a true pair when it comes through perhaps a romantic relationship. If it's not a romantic relationship, this could be like a business partnership here. It seems like there's someone here that's thinking about somebody a lot. Someone is thinking about somebody a lot, but I feel like also at the same time here, someone is very guarded and defensive here. So I don't know if recently you dealt with someone here, okay, in a romantic relationship that you may be still thinking about. Maybe this ex is still thinking about you. I mean, if you're not thinking about this person, I mean, you guys are definitely still energetically tethered together here. So I don't know if your ex is kind of like, I'm no longer waiting around for Eli, I'm just going to leave, or that, let's say she wants to communicate with you and she's waiting for you to communicate. It's kind of like, okay, I'm not waiting around, I'm just going to reach out to you, Eli, right? So with the King of Wands and the Eight of Swords and the Seven of Wands here, I don't know if you're feeling like this energy of kind of like you're worried that she's going to come back or he. Let's just apply to certain unique situation, but there's a sense of protecting yourself here or blocking yourself off from her. Give me two more. And then we have the King of Pentacles, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, and then we have the Ten of Wands. This is really interesting. Your work life is not really going that great here. I don't know what's going on with your work, but I feel like, either your work or your money here, you're feeling very financially or work-wise, just very overwhelmed. Yeah, overwhelmed or that you're feeling like just you're dealing with a lot of financial burdens right now. Yeah, with the Eight of Cups here and the Six of Swords, I feel like you're trying to get away or that you want to walk away. Yeah, or that you don't want to stick around for this. You wish you could run away. You wish you could escape. This is really interesting here with the Four of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. So I don't know if you're holding on to your ex here or the past here. Um, I don't know. Maybe holding on to your ex here is also affecting other areas of your life. But there's a couple of things going on here. Yeah, it seems like there's money issues or that there's work issues here that you want to get away from. I do feel like there's an X situation here that you may be having a hard time letting go. If it's not you, perhaps this person's having a hard time letting go here. And there could be some sort of communication here. There's a sense of someone here missing somebody. Okay. Cash App isn't available in your region. Oh, so I don't know what to tell you. Where do you live? You're welcome. All right, let's see. Ottawa, Canada. Oh. So you only have PayPal. You want to send me a PayPal? So Andrea, you want to send me a PayPal? Sure. Hold on one sec. Let me pull up my PayPal handle for you, okay? Just give me 1 second. All right? 1 second. It's gonna take a fee, but I guess whatever. I'll do it for you. It's okay. Free. I just like opened TikTok and the first thing that came up on my screen is you. All right. Let's see. Um, all right. So PayPal. I'm almost there. Okay, here we go. All righty. So Andrea, here you are. Yeah, if you want another question, Eli, send another payment for another question. So one question, one payment per question. Okay. Okay. For those of you guys that are tuning in to TikTok, folks, I'm still taking readings. Okay. So I'm taking Cash App as a form of payment. If you guys don't have if you guys don't have Cash App, you guys could send me a baby dragon. Okay. Wow. Or you guys could send me a PayPal. Okay. But I'm not doing the PayPal here. I just did it for someone because they they're from another country. Hold on one sec. What the hell? I'm messing this up. Okay, so Eli again. So let's see. I'm just waiting for the email to come up. There we go. You want to know what's coming in love for you. Okay. Okay. What's coming in love for Eli? What's coming in love for Eli? What's coming in love for Eli? What's in love for Eli? What's coming in love for Eli? What is 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 coming in love, Eli? The knight. No, that's not the Knight of Wands. That's the Eight of Wands. The Seven of Pentacles. You have someone here that's thinking about communication. Oh no, Eli. You have someone here that's thinking about communication. So I feel like I said, it kind of tracks with the other reading. Like I feel like someone here has been waiting for you to reach out to them, but since you haven't reached out to them, they no longer want to wait. They want to reach out to you. Yeah, they want to reach out to you with the Eight of Wands. I feel like there is someone here that wants to reach out to you with a new beginning. This is really interesting. We have communication here with the Seven of Pentacles, but the problem is with the Hangman here, they're not really, they want to, they're not really taking any sort of action here, you know? Or that this could be an indication that, um, Eli, is that this person's like really lazy. Yeah, this person's like really lazy. The Lovers. You and this ex here still have a bond. That's really interesting because we saw the Queen of Wands here. Now the Queen of Wands is coming out in the reverse. So I hate to say it. A lot of times when the Queen of Wands is in the reverse, this energy is this energy is a very bitchy energy, basically. Yeah, there is love here, but also at the same time, she's operating from the place of her ego right now. She wants to communicate, but I feel like she's holding herself back. With the Three of Swords and the Knight of Cups here and the Four, yeah, she wants to come back around and communicate, but she's trying to detach, or that she's trying to, I hate to say it, but it's almost like I feel like she wants you to reach out to her so that she doesn't have to deal with the guilt and the shame to face what she maybe did. Okay. I feel like she's trying to put you in some sort of box here. She has this vision of you or this narrative that she's created of you, and she's kind of sticking to that right now. This ex of yours has some serious issues with her mother. Her mother really disappointed her. She never really had a strong mother figure, I feel. And this is a wounding that she needs to work on healing in order for her to have healthy relationships with other people. Okay? So that does it for Eli. So we have Andrea. Thank you so much, Andrea, for the payment. Andrea, what is your question? Keep in mind that these are short mini readings. If you guys are looking for an in-depth personal reading, the check out my website in the description box below. For TikTok folks, in the link tree or the link tree in my bio. It is Good Friday, Pre. Are you working? Let me just take a sip of this. Hold on one sec. Okay, here we go. Oh, nice. What are you gonna do this weekend, Pre? Okay, tell me about work and finances for Andrea. Oh, I didn't put the timestamp. Hold on one sec. So 57:38. All right. Tell about Andrea here. Tell about Andrea and work and finances. Tell about Andrea and work and finance. Tell about Andrea and work and finance. Give me 6 cards here for Andrea. Work and finances. 3 of Wands. Page of Swords. I feel like you're looking for new opportunities elsewhere. Do you know someone with like an M name or something like that? Like Matt, Matthew, Mitch. What are other MA names? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Someone with the M names keeps showing up here. I don't know. That's strange. Who is this M name person? Oh, I don't know. Mike. My sister is Monica. Okay, let's see. Queen of Cups. How's your sister doing? I don't know why this is coming up. Yeah. Um, the energy that I get with this woman is that, I mean, this could also be you too, but the energy that I get with this woman is that this is an individual here that is just how would describe it is like beyond. I feel like emotionally this woman is stuck in like a very just kind of like a negative place. I see. I would check in with her. I don't know. She's not really doing well. Yeah, she's not doing well at all. Um, this woman may be drinking a lot. This woman may be doing drugs. It's just that she's in a very, 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 very negative place. But this has nothing to do with her work. I just got that. It's just like I'm just getting that you're looking for opportunities elsewhere. But I feel like your sister is showing up This is kinda like it needs more time. This is more suited for, like, a personal reading, to be quite honest. Let's see, 2 more here. This is not you. This is somebody I keep getting this is somebody else. Someone who's just really disappointed, upset. Kinda stuck in their life. Somewhere is at a crossroads in their life. I don't know if you and your sister are going through the same thing. Yeah, that is your boss? So you think this is your boss? Okay. I mean, whoever this is, I feel like this person's just really upset. Um, it feels like this person is someone here who feels like they made a lot of bad decisions in life or something like that. Um, I mean, it's not a whole lot to go on with your work situation though, because I feel like someone else is like hijacking this. Yeah. Give me one more here for this page of swords and the third of one. Eight of wands. Spirit is asking you to look for opportunities outside of where you're at right now. I don't know where in Canada are you, but go somewhere else in Canada. Yeah, go somewhere else. Go to the States. Go to Europe. Go somewhere else. Okay, because I feel like I don't know if you feel this, but I feel like energetically, I feel like um, Canada doesn't really align with your. It doesn't really align with your body. It doesn't really align with your soul. Yeah, I just feel like there's a sense of feeling like you're meant to be somewhere else. You work from home remotely. Okay. It's almost yeah, maybe it's almost like I kinda like so you feel very so okay, that kinda makes sense then. You feel like you have to get out. Yeah, you feel like you have to get out. To be quite honest, I feel like when it comes to your work, I don't feel like you're finding anything new. Yeah, because I feel like if you wanna find something new, I feel like it's really, really up to you for you to take that huge leap of faith to really wanna change your environment, if that makes sense. Yeah, but there's a whole bunch of stuff that's coming up for you. Yeah, I feel like another person's, like, hijacking your reading. Um, and it's really interesting. I feel like I keep getting, like, a sibling or something like that, but, yeah, it could be a work thing that's coming up, okay? So, I hope that was helpful. Yeah. So we have Sandra here. Thank you for sending the extra $3, Sandra. I really appreciate it. Hold on one sec. Oopsie, I'm spelling your name wrong. I spelled it Sanda. Okay, hold on one sec. Yeah, I feel like she's not doing well for some reason. I don't know. Yeah. It could be that I'm picking up another feminine energy. Yeah, so but yeah, I would also book a personal reading because I feel like there was a lot more that needed to be said, but I can't. I usually keep these short. These are meant to be short. They're not really meant to be long, but I feel like a lot more was coming through. I felt like I couldn't really say it on here because this is kind of like a public platform where I feel like there are certain things that are just not really meant to be shared, you know? This is more of a surface thing. This is more of a 411 message to your situation, but I feel like a lot of other things were coming up. It was like boom, 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 boom. Yeah. So yeah, it's up to you. I don't want to force anyone to do something that they don't want to do. Okay. So Sandra wants to know, will an energy a type business be successful? Okay. What messages do we have here for Sandra? Will energy type business be successful for Sandra? Will an energy type of business work be successful for Sandra? What messages do we have for Sandra? Will an energy type business Um, be successful for Sandra. Give me one more. Okay. Knight of Wands in the reverse. I feel like you need a little bit of help or support in bringing this together. I mean, I hate to say it, the Knight of Wands is not the Knight of Wands in the reverse in like a work situation, in the work energy. You may have a lot of passion and drive to want to make something happen here, but then nothing happens. Yeah. It's kind of like the feeling that, whatever you're trying to start, eventually it might be fleeting. It could be an energy of like, starting, but then not finishing it. If that makes sense. The Six of Wands here. I don't know what type of energy work that you're doing here. I do feel like you could, like, I feel like you're very tapped in, but I feel like you need to fine tune it though. Yeah, if that makes sense. Yeah, you have to fine tune it. The Five of Swords in the reverse, in the Three of Swords. I mean, that Six of Wands is a representation of success and victory, but I feel like there's kind of like obstacles that are getting in the way. Um, I don't know. There could be one moment that you could be gassing yourself up, like, yes, I could do it. I'm gonna make it happen. And then the next moment, it's kind of like, oh no, I don't think I could. I don't think I'm gonna be great at it, or I don't think I'm gonna be successful at it. So it's just so we know, like, the way that we speak about ourselves, the way that we think about ourselves, the way that we feel about ourselves, it's actually a really powerful weapon. In a way where if you're thinking negatively, I hate to say it, it would be quite hard to bring in that success, right? Because you're sitting in that consciousness of like, oh, I don't, it's kind of like, so that consciousness, I feel like you have to be in it like 1000%, right? But I do feel like, when it comes to, energy work, there could be some fine tuning here. Yeah. There could be some fine tuning. There needs to be more practice or something like that along those lines. But there's a sense of kind of like, like gassing yourself up, but then psyching yourself out. With the Ace of Wands in the reverse, the Fool. There's a lack of planning here, I feel. You have the Ace of Wands in the reverse, which is like the Ace of Wands to me is like a business venture, a creative venture here. I just feel like you just have to take a leap of faith here. Yeah, with the Fool card. Just go for it. Just do it. When I started this, I was kind of scared the way I don't know, I wouldn't say scared. I was hesitant to start this, to start all this. I was worried people were not gonna watch me. Like I was, I'm kind of a little bit kind of awkward, and but over time I got comfortable in front of a camera and talking to myself and talking in front of a camera. Um, Sometimes I feel like it's just a matter of doing it. Once you do it, like, I feel like you will be able to fine-tune whatever, issues are coming up for you when it comes to energy work, but there can be success here. I just feel like, the way that you're going about it, the way that you're talking about it, about yourself when it comes to that has to shift, and I just feel like just do it. Just do it. Yeah, just do it. Because you have to do it in order for you to know what you need to fine tune and what you need to work on, right? Because if you don't do it, you just don't know. It's kind of like when I started this business, I had to figure out what was going to work and what was not going to work, right? So yeah, Oh, Jen, thank you so much for the baby dragon. Can you DM me your question? Yeah, DM me your question. That'd be great. Okay. Yeah, baby dragon for a reading, correct. Yeah, so just DM me your question, okay? It's just easy to follow because then you're in the queue. You're welcome, Sandra. You're welcome. You guys, I'm still taking questions, okay? I'm still taking questions. I have a scratch on my head. Okay, Jen. Let's see. I'm just gonna timestamp it anyway. It's not the same platform, but okay, let's see. So 1, 2, 2, I don't know, 3, 5. Okay, so Jen wants to know, does bad the no does does Mark feel bad or have regrets about hurting me and putting me through a third party situation? Tell me about Jen and Mark. Does Mark feel bad or have regrets about hurting and putting Jen in a third party situation? Thank you so much for the rose, Jen. One more. What messages do we have for Jen? Does Mark feel bad or have regrets about hurting and putting Jen in a third party situation? Okay. 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. Well, Ace. Does he feel bad? I don't think so. He's fun. I felt I don't know how it's been since you caught him in this, but I feel like with the Ace of Swords in the reverse, I feel like he's trying not to be honest or truthful here. Even if he was with the third party, I feel like he was not really truthful for like towards the third party. Does that make sense? Like let's say if he got with the third party, like the third party didn't even know that you were in the picture. Okay. So we have the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse and the Ace of Swords in the reverse. 10 of Wands. This person has a lot of baggage. He wants to avoid the baggage. He wants to avoid the problems that come up in his life, but you know, you can't avoid it for that long because it will always have a way of catching up to you. To be quite honest, it's kind of really hard to figure out how this person feels because I don't know if this person's like very emotionally blocked or that this person just is really good at blocking themselves emotionally, compartmentalizing, putting these little situations in the box, just avoiding. Yeah, it's hard to say how this person really feels. I don't know. I feel like this person's like blocked. I also feel like this is a person here that I don't feel like this person really has what it takes or have the capacity to really hold on to a relationship. Yeah. Um, I'm curious if it will, especially if like you do something wrong and you don't correct your behavior and you keep doing it over and over and over again. That is the karma that he's creating for himself that he will live out, right? Because when you do something like that, it doesn't create happiness. It can't. I mean, if you get some sort of jollies out of this situation, then there's something wrong with him. So, um, yeah, if you get some sort of joy, something out of it where, but it seems like he deals with a lot that he doesn't want to deal with. right? It's kind of really hard to figure him out, to be quite honest. Yeah, there's certain people that their energies are really hard to tap into because they're so emotionally blocked. To be quite honest, I feel like for him, like the way that he sees you, he feels like you're better off with somebody else. Yeah, you're better off with somebody else. He may have told you that in the past. And in my own personal experience, when someone tells you that, believe it. Yeah, believe it 1000%. Because this is them giving you a roadmap of how they're going to basically treat you in the relationship. You're better off without this person. This person's a complete total mess. Yeah. This person's a complete total mess. Could he emotionally avoid? And you're right. He said, "I'm very kind and forgiving." Yeah, the more forgiving that you are, the more chances that you give him. Basically, you basically continue to enable that behavior because he's kind of like sending that energy of like, oh, if Jen's okay with it, if Jen's kind of like forgiving me, then I could get away with this again, right? But obviously, an apology without change behavior is a form of manipulation, right? So, if you are apologizing and you're not changing your behavior, you're not really taking full accountability of what you did, right? So, I do feel like he has a ton of baggage that he's dealing with here. Um, I don't really feel like this man is someone here who's ready to really change that and really grow from it. Yeah. And as human beings, we should be ever evolving and growing, right? And if this person's not growing and you want to grow, you want to heal, you want to repair, you want to evolve, eventually you're just going to outgrow this person. Right now, it's just that you have an unhealthy attachment towards him. That's all. Yeah, you still feel that bond, you still feel that connection sort of thing. You may remember the good times, you may feel very addicted to him. You have to work on basically detaching, disengaging, and you know, just really truly knowing what's best for you. Yeah, that's the thing, people that are the most forgiving and the most kind, they tend to get taken advantage of. And I feel like in these situations, boundaries are really important. If your boundaries are crossed, then, there's a problem, right? And sometimes, a lot of times we care about the person, we love this person so much, and those boundaries are crossed, we just kind of give it another shot and give it another chance, but we don't see the change behavior before we give that chance, right? So we just dive right back in to the patterns. Yeah. So I think for you, I feel like you're better off without this person. Yeah, to be quite honest. And I feel like this person may have expressed that to you too. All right. Is there anybody else looking for a reading? Anybody else? Wow. Really? Make sure you guys follow. Make sure you guys like. That'd be great. Thanks for the follow. K Money. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the heart me machi mochi food. What a cute name. All right, is there anybody else looking for a reading? I am still taking questions. think I'm gonna switch decks here. Machi Mochi Food, if you're looking for a reading, I'm taking Cash App as payment, $25 for one question. If you don't have Cash App, I'm taking a baby dragon. Here, let me just put the rules in the comments here or in the chat. Uh-oh, I'm yawning. Alright, guys. Hi, Manvi. Manvi, if you're looking for a reading, I'm taking Cash App as payment, $25 for one question. And if you don't have Cash App, you could send me a baby dragon. Anybody else? Mm, I think that if I don't get anything in 5 minutes, I might just sign off here. Because what I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 9 today. That's not bad, I guess. I think I'm signing on here at a really bad time. Today's Good Friday, it's a holiday. People may still also be at work. Alright, I think I just might sign off soon. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it, for supporting me on TikTok and on YouTube. Alright, I'm gonna sign off, you guys, okay? Thank you guys. Have a great weekend. Bye.